Part number 2. So in this third part, we are actually taking the flows that we built, and we will have to port them into Central, so it could be used by external sources. And then we are going to map them to OBM, so users would be able to use them as well. So to do so, I'm going to go to my orchestration studio over here that has all the flows that I built. And now we are going to create a content pack. There's an icon for it, but generally we don't care. And I'm going to say that I want to put it on my desktop, just because I like it this way. And it's going to be version number 1. So we're going to be saying next. There are no dependencies that we wanted to include. And there it is, finish. Show desktop. There we go. So AOS stress scripts. This is the one that we built. I need to copy it to the machine where I'm operating at the moment. And I need to log on to OO server. So it's going to be OUI here in the front end. So the funny part is when you design in Designer, whatever work you're doing is not going automatically to OO Central, the piece that runs the workflows for you remotely, because it kind of lives a life of its own. So you can have the Designer installed anywhere in the world, develop your stuff, and then port it to production. So this is what we're doing. We are porting our work here into production by uploading a content pack. And the content pack sits in this directory, AOS, stress project, scripts. I should have used a very different name, just not to confuse anybody, but probably it's okay. So I'm actually maybe should be unmapping. Okay, cool. So now we go to OBM. And just to emphasize what we're going to do. So all of those, come on, animations over RDP, be faster. So when we go to run management, previously in the flow launcher, we had only the AOS stress, create issues, remediate subflows from a very old demo. It's still here, but now it should include the flows that I built for AOS stress. Those 4 nice flows, and here they are, and I'm going to see them in OBM in a couple of seconds actually. So I'm going to administration, and I'm going to open the runbook mappings. Leave this page, and because I have an integration between those 2 products, now I can see the runbooks over here mapped to specific CIs. So I'm going to do 2 actions. I'm going to remove the runbooks that are mapped right now to the node CI. Okay. No, probably it's mapped directly to Linux, is it? Yes, it's directly to Linux. So all of those are gone. Bye-bye. Can I multi-select? I cannot. Okay. So I'm removing old runbooks that I'm not going to use anymore anytime soon. And instead, I'm going to map a runbook from here. I'm just selecting runbook, and I'll map all 4 of them. So AOS gradual degradation, and then enabled to run automatically. Should I be letting it run automatically? Should I be letting it run automatically? No, not yet. We are not building that scenario. So for now, we're not going to do automatic runbook executions. Okay, and the default value for external host name is going to be primary DNS name, right? So whatever, it's not cloud, just whatever CI I'm choosing, right? Whatever Linux CI I'm choosing, it would be able to propagate its FQDN, the DNS name, to the runbook and execute the runbook with this parameter posted there. So if you watched part number 2, we used to type in a prompt the name of the server. So this is the typing part by OBM, right? So we're selecting a flow number 2, and it's just going to be the same thing, right? Primary DNS name. Yes, create. It's as easy as that for a runbook that we built. So properly planned runbook doesn't require too much work on this end, but you can specify default passwords and whatnot if required, but still. Okay, primary DNS name. Right, so if you had variations and various credentials that you need to specify, all of this is possible, but since we are running a private environment with everything uniform in it, we have the benefit of just using one parameter. Yeah, if you're envious, that's for a good reason. All right, so that's about it. That's the mapping that we did. Very simple, but now let's test it. So let's put it to the test. So here's our application, right? And I'm going to sign out. Come on, sign out. At some point, I'm going to sign out. Okay, let's refresh and see. Oh, because I'm not signed in, right? So we go to admin and admin, very creative password scheme, and we are able to log in pretty much immediately, right? So now we will sign out. And okay, so that's the sign out, it's done. And we are going here to our workplace and to the top view, and I'm going to say, you know what, AOS server number 1, I'm going to run a workflow against you. So it's going to be invoke runbooks. And it would create this pop-up window that allows me to select what. So it's going to be AOS gradual degradation, delay stop services, overload success. So it's not the fix. Okay, yeah, cool. So this is the one. I'm going to click next. And it already propagated everything that we need. So I'm going to click run. Also give us the opportunity to change it. Okay. So there it runs. And where's my pop-up? Yeah, there's the pop-up. Oh, come on. I need to always allow pop-ups. Okay, so there's the pop-up. This is actually a window from OO itself. Is different from the address here. And we can observe the execution of each and every step and the contents of every step. So this is the URL that it tries to execute and everything that we need to know about it. Then it goes to sleep, and we see that the default parameter probably is not shown here. You see, this doesn't cease to amaze me. Every time I look at it, it keeps the original shape of your flow over here. Remember, it was in an arch.
Yeah.
Right. So it's still in arch, so it's not very straight. Oh, you know, I'll keep it to this way. Like, why would you keep it?
Does it have a layout where if you clicked on it when you were as part of the design process, can you click on it and it'll lay itself out linearly or whatever you wanted?
I have no idea. Let's see, because yeah, I'm so bad with designing stuff that if there is like a layout button or something, it would really help.
Yeah, let's right click.
Layout edges.
Let's see what we get.
I don't know what it does. So let's see, flow variables, icons. I don't know what that means. Bookmarks, icons, no. So I guess we are.
It would be some sort of view specification or let's see. I'm trying to look at what's up there in the window.
Yeah.
Edit tools.
View options. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's for people like me. Okay, well, let's save it and let's do it on every flow. On every flow. Oh, that's right. Okay, that's good. I think this one we could use as well. Same thing. Okay, save. Okay, well, if it happens to be the case that next time we need to change something and
You know,
upload it
there's an
once more.
interesting one. I'm looking at that box, and I'm wondering if you can click in that box and tell it and say, I don't know if you noticed that. It was a grid pattern. I'm wondering if you can make this thing snake back and forth. I was just, wondering how that thing. I'll
Okay.
look at it later.
Okay, so we're still on sleep. Yeah, it's a 3 minutes.
Sleep.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's right, 180 seconds. I remember.
Yeah. So in previous variation of this kind of demo control, users had to use multiple runbooks, and it was pretty hard to navigate through them. So this is why I want them to have only 2. And there are also 2 for rescue when something goes really bad and you just want to reset everything. Okay, there's the sleep, there's the Ssh command, and let's look at this command. Basically, where are the details? So this one shares with us all of the details, but the Ssh command just not specifying anything. Right, so on this command, I should have specified for it not to remain in a session, kind of abandon it. So we'll tell users, okay, well, this thing is going to run indefinitely. Because it needs to be abandoned. Okay, because it's running a 1 hour long command, then we need to add the secret.
Put it in the background or something.
There is a silent variation of it. So let me do it. Let me try and stress ng minus d1 minus t, let's say 2 minutes, and is it silent like this? No. Let me run it. Yeah. I just need to change the command, and that's gonna be timeout for sleep. It's somewhere in the beginning, if I remember correctly. Yeah. It's just minus silent. Oh no, that was mine. Sorry. Quiet metrics. Quiet. Minus Q. Okay, so that's minus Q. That's what I need to change. Minus Q. That's not very quiet.
I think what that does is maybe just doesn't write the standard out. Is that the deal? What quiet means?
I don't know. Right. So I'm just going to tell users to close the window once it's done, because.
Can you cheat a little bit and just put an ampersand there, put it into the background? Because I think that's what you're trying to do, right? Aren't you just trying to do a background process?
This is what I'm afraid of. So if we'll go to htop, right, and I'll do the ampersand, right, like this. Should it be like 2? So here's my problem. You see, it goes. What did I do? No, I did disk. I did disk instead of. So it's. Let's change it to CPU instead. Okay, just to show the point. So we're going to be minus CPU. And then we see the CPU spiking here. The problem is, if I close the session, you see, it stopped.
Oh, so you're saying, well, can you use a no hup?
Use the what, sorry?
No hup.
Running, you can run a command without attaching it to the session, right? So.
Well, you would do otherwise. You would do no hup the command, and then you use the ampersand. It puts it in the background. No hup is a no hang up, and so it will create output file that'll be nohup.out if you run it in the background. So I don't know exactly what you're trying to do other than you're trying to keep it from hanging there and holding up everything while it's running in the background. You can't do anything with it. So I'm
Okay.
not sure what your intent is, but that's what I was thinking. Is
Okay. Let's try no hub. No.
No. You do it before you run the stress command. There you go.
Yeah. Let's get it.
Let's see what that does.
And what?
It's released. If you hit enter, it should be.
Oh, okay. So let's see. This is my CPU. Let's close this. No, still the same thing. It still requires the same SSH session. All right.
I've gotten around that too. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, there is a workaround that we need to. So this is the debug, right? And this is how the commands are executed remotely on or invoked in OBM. So everything works, but we need either to document, tell the users to close the window to stop observing the command executed, but then basically solve it by documentation, which is always an option. Okay, but maybe we can be more creative. So here we have metric status changes from good to error, and it's yep, the application is unavailable. This is the probably the URL monitor. Yes, this is the site URL monitor. And we are waiting for everything else to arrive. CPU bottleneck has been detected. This is the policy from agent. Yeah, everything works. And if I will go to AOS Web 1, and I'll go to HTOP, it should show that the CPUs are still occupied, right? So it doesn't. It behaves as if the run is over, which cannot be the case. So we go to Run Explorer, and this is, and it says completed results in 5 minutes. Okay, so it basically, it closed. Yeah, it closed the session. Or it closed the session because I closed it. So this is the debug part, right? So what we intended the runbook to do, it did not happen, but everything else did. And don't we have anything? Right, so that pretty much is the point, right? So I'm going to stop the recording here. Good video.